introduce my resource persons. I will introduce my colleagues. Then I will request all the Rivers ADP people, no, the Bayelsa ADP people, they are your visitors, they are hosting. So tell us who you are, the role you play, and where you are domiciled in line with this. I hope that is okay. So let me start by introducing one of our major speakers. He's a professor of soil science. He's done so much work in the field and in the classroom about soil. And he's our number of us here, our guy. Is Professor Emmanuel Omeremadu. Sitting next to him is another resource person in our host zone. He's typed to a professor, he's an associate professor. He's reading more. He's reading more so he can, yes, he's also a product of this school and he's a lecturer with the Uniport. He's Dr. Kamal. Okay, to my left, I have some of my colleagues in an academic environment that are soil scientists in the making, and soil scientists, half made, because we're not completely made. We're in the making. So I'll start with the person that said the opening prayer. She's one of our soil science lecturers. She's a soil microbiologist. She's Dr. Edna Chinyere. Next to her is somebody we call like acting. Is it my HOD's PA? For example, she's also a soil scientist. She's in soil microbiology. Her name is. She's also. This man is ready to become a professor. She's ready to add a PhD. So she's Mrs. Iris. Yeah. Sitting next to her and coming in that order is another person who is a product. He's a PhD student with us. He's also a soil scientist. He's Mr. Progress of each with us. Then I have what I call a soil scientist in my handbag. He's my student, my undergraduate student, and he's my project student. His name is Mr. Lazarus Iwori Farmer. I hope I did not feel that. Yes, we pull ourselves along so that they're pulling us, we're pulling ourselves along. And next to me is my colleague. I'm in sucrose soil department, but I also work in this place as the associate dean of student affairs. So the person sitting next to me is my colleague in this office. He's not my student, he's not scientist, but he's an IC person. And he's an NYSC. Later from here we send students for NYSC. He's Mr. Godswill with us. Greet us. He'll be helping us with our morning. And then let me introduce myself. I'm in a dual capacity. I'm facilitating the program for this venue, and at the same time, a resource person too. And all of you here know my name because you have seen my new video. I'm also reading more. With these guys, I become a professor. I'm an associate professor. And Dr. Ola is my name. Now, I'm going to pass this microphone. You will tell us your name, because I know you were drawn from different locations. Tell us your name, tell us what you do in the ADP, and where you are domiciled, where you're located. Okay, let's start with.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Mr. James Ozuabale. I'm from Bayelsa State, and by the grace of God, an extension agent in Bayelsa State.
Good morning. I'm Sir Toby Terry Peters from Bayelsa State, also an extension officer, cover barren hazards and animal health technologies.
Good morning. I'm Boleva Chinda, an extension worker, the area extension officer covering Ishoku and Eno
Southern Niger local government, the farmer. Thank you.
My name is Samuel Douglas Mode, farmer, Southern Niger.
Good morning. I am on the region Friday. I am an extension agent cooperating with others and the father and mother of the government.
Good morning. My name is Blessing Guru. I am a farmer. From the MBONU government.
Good morning. My name is Sophie Christiana. I'm from Bayelsa State. Then I'm living in Sabama, because I want the government, a farmer. Thank you.
My name is Wale from MBONU-OKOLI, River State. I'm a farmer.
I'm the trained farmer, we're ready.
Good morning, everybody. I am Jake number 9 from Ghana. I'm a farmer, Ghana.
My name is Lena Robo from Obiakwa. I'm a farmer.
My name is Festus Ozweli from Bayelsa State in Anambra local government. I'm a farmer.
Thank you. Now, having said that, I want to mention here that the Nigerian Institute of Southern is not exclusive for the academic. It's open to farmers who have been in practice for at least 10 years to have a wealth of on the field agricultural practices. So over time, we'll be talking more. So it's not for the academics alone, it's also for those who are in the field. And we need your wealth of on-field experience to adapt our scientific findings to meet our general good, to put more food on the table. That's the, in ADP, you talk about impact points. I worked with ADP before I came to the university, so we talk about the impact point. So the impact point is more food on the table and more money in the pocket of the farmer. Yeah, so right away, we want to start, and then, like I said, we'll try to gain the time we have lost. Well, if you see, look at your program, we have 3 modules. We're going to have 3 modules. And module 1 is going to be all of them are on PowerPoint. Let me say that you have some documents. Not all the modules are with you. And even the modules you have, some of the pictures are not with you. And that's why we requested if you could give us your WhatsApp number so that we can forward the entire document to you, particularly the extension agent, so that from there it can move to your entire state ADP. Because we're not paying for this training. In fact, we are paying you to attend this training. Ordinarily, you pay to attend training. But we are paying you now to attend this training. So you can see that Niss is serious. We are serious. We want to get the job done. We are paying you to come and attend the training. Don't need to pay to come for training. So please put a round of applause for this. Okay, so if you give up that before the end of this meeting, we'll forward it to you so that you have the soft copies. So the first module is like an introduction, the soil resources of Nigeria. And then the next module is integrated soil management. That's the larger thing. Emphasis on fertility, status, management, and all that. What your soil gives you is how you treat it. Then after that, we're going to take another module that will front 2 crops, the maize and the rice. A lot of people don't know that wherever you grow maize, you can grow rice. Any place that can sustain upland rice can grow maize and sustain upland rice. And so the rice is not something that they do only in the state and in the north. You can do anywhere you do maize, you can do upland rice. Though not upland, for those in Bayelsa, you can do swamp rice. So we'll be taking home a lot from there. So let me just kick off this training by doing the very first introductory module. You have, I think you have that in your files. It is in your files. Where we have the one that is titled Training on the Protection. So you see the theme. The theme of this program is actually on protection and management. You protect. When I teach someone and water conservation, one of the first things I say is that anything that cannot be lost, you don't have to protect it. Anything that is not useful and cannot be lost, don't bother. In fact, if it gets lost, you say good riddance to bad rubbish. But it is something that is important to you and can be lost that you try to protect and manage. So the soil is a resource that is very useful and can be lost. So we want to protect it, we want to manage it. So I'll just take that one in a hurry. I wouldn't last as long as we have on that program, so that we can give the main gist attention. So we'll be looking at, the introduction there is the keywords. The keywords, soil, the categories of soil, profit, and family. Like I said, these are the impact points of everything that we're going to be talking about. Sorry, there are some typo errors from this. I didn't notice them earlier, I would have corrected them. What you have there is before proceeding with, so that's corrected in my phone, with this discussion. We want to ask ourselves what is soil. We want to ask ourselves what is soil. This is an interactive forum. Please, what is soil? Just tell us, anybody, or two person. One Rivers, one Bayelsa. Okay, no. One extension agent, one farmer, one extension agent, one farmer. From the two states, okay? Rivers, one extension, what is, so let's start with the farmers. Farmer, what is soil? Somebody from Rivers, ADP, farmer. You be using soil, you don't tell me you're not a farmer, I have not been using soil. What is Sansan? What if it's Sansan? Tell us it's Sansan. If it's more, tell us if it's more. Yes, madam. We don't have a second.
Some soil used to plant cassava and maize and rice.
Madam says that soil is what we use to plant cassava, maize, and rice. Farmer, Rivers. Our own definition of soil is what we use to plant cassava, maize, and rice. Rivers. I'm still. You didn't come with any farmer. Farmer, what is soil?
It's a natural resource where we plant crops.
A natural resource. You don't plant grammar. So in other words, you can't manufacture it in any industry. You can't produce it in any factory. And so it's a natural resource. We use it to plant crops. Okay, the bigger of that, extension agents, what is soil?
Good morning. Soil, to my own understanding, is a natural body that is holding or housing every other living organism and non-living organism that stand on it.
The things that are standing on it, whether living or non-living, that are standing on it. Yes, another EA from Rivers. Yes.
Soil is the root part of the earth crust, which has all the other components that support plant growth and
Everybody is saying that it has natural, two things that come up now. Natural, it is, we're teachers, somebody should be timing me. Once I spend 20 minutes, you let me know. If you leave us, we can talk. We usually teach for 2 hours. I mean. So yes. So we've said that basically for us, and of course, if I ask somebody in civil engineering to define soil, they will define it differently. If I ask somebody in geology to define soil, they will define it differently. So we are looking at soil from the point of view of agriculture. And somebody says everything that is resident in the soil or on the soil, and we use it for cultivation. Okay, next slide. So if I had produced this slide, I would have just given us a picture of what soil. Before now we just say this soil. The soil has components. If you bring soil, if you collect soil now, if you squeeze it, you can squeeze it. It's not hard. It's not firm. You can squeeze because there are some air spaces inside of it. If you pour water inside it, it will disappear, which means there are air spaces. So when we talk about soil, with the components, what is the component? The component, we have that solid part of it, which is what we have been calling soil. But the soil is not complete if that part that holds water and holds all the other things are not there. It's also in that solid part, the one we call soil, has organic matter and has mineral matter. So by the time we get to, we're not going to be doing serious, how is soil formed and all that. That organic portion and that mineral matter is, they're what they call parent material. Parents, when you say parents, you can only look like your parents. You can't look like my parents. I can't look like your parents. So any soil will look like its parents, the source from which it comes. Okay, so let's go on now. We won't read all of it. I said now, we say soil in Nigeria, like in other tropical regions, like I say, we go to jump academics. Tropical regions differ why anybody will look like his parents. So the way the soil looks at physically, I hope you know have you tried putting paper inside the soil and bringing it out after some time? Something happens to it. It tells you it will disintegrate. It tells you that there are chemicals in the soil. By the time we get to fertility, we'll see that those things are planted in the soil. Have you ever imagined? Why do we eat crops? We eat the crops for nutrients, not so. We eat it because the nutrients are in them. Where did they get the nutrients from? From the soil. So they pick from the soil. We pick it from them. Animals also pick from. When we finish and we're done, we return. The soil also picks it inside the cycle. So whether the goat dies or the chicken dies, or you cut a leaf and throw away some, you harvest and throw away some, or that. You will, so it is so the reason you are eating that food is because the nutrients are in the plant, and it's because the plant took the nutrients from the soil. So are you seeing why we are holding the soil? Are you seeing why we are careful about the soil? So if the soil does not have what to offer, then your plants will not have what to take. So go to your pocket, and our body are going to have issues. So we're saying that they vary. They vary. The kind of soil. Those who have traveled to the north, as you reach towards Enugu, Usoka to the north, you see that the color of the soil changes. Yes. The nature of the soil also changes. So all that, we want you to know that there are differences between the soils you have in Bayelsa and the soils you have in Rivers. But each one will support growth depending on how you manage it. So presently, most farming activities are based on small and medium scale production. I don't know if there's anybody here, that's how we look for the ADP, who has up to 100 hectares. Is there anybody? But you see, even without your little, that is what you are. So that's where majority of the persons are. Now, you say farming for food and cash crop production on highly leached soil. I don't want to repeat the things that the fertility person will say. Now, I just keep painting this natural picture. So you see, soil contains what the plants need, which we need from the plants. I hope you still know the animals also eat the plants, and we also eat the animals because of what they get from the plant and what the plants get from the soil. If there's nothing you take home today, know that what you get out of the soil is a function of what the soil has. And you will manage the soil. You will look at the soil better than you looked at it before you came here. So if you see somebody pouring chemicals in the field, you get offended because or somebody who is just disposing, you carry fertilizer. You just carry fertilizer. Anyway, it's not a fertilizer. Whether it is urea, whether it's fertilizer, you carry, you pour. You say, no, if you damage my soil, you're going to stop my money income, you're going to stop food production. So we want to say in this beginning that the prerequisite, that's prerequisite, sorry, not prerequisite. The prerequisite, but I don't have prerequisite. Now, the prerequisite means the very first thing in managing anything is that you must understand that thing. If I buy a material now, you buy clothes. One of the first things you must do if you want to maintain that cloth is to know the do's and the don'ts of that cloth, is it not? If the cloth is something that is not cotton, you already know in your head you cannot use very high temperature to iron it, you will spoil it. In fact, there are clothes you don't even wash, women. There are clothes you don't remove and wash, is it not? Because you have an understanding that this cloth will not sustain, carry and throw inside water, carry and throw inside water. So one of the things that we need to be able to sustain high productivity of food is to remember that what will do that is from the soil. So a good knowledge of the potentials. We don't know how to overstress this. That the soil is much more than just where it supports root growth, so that your plant will anchor. Of course, agriculture has gone there's what we call aquaculture, that's what we call hydroponics, where you get some nutrients put inside water and then inside a sack or whatever, and then the plant grows. But because it is varying from place to place, you can use that to grow vegetables. But our staple food that is yam and cassava and cocoyam, you want to take hydroponics, grow it? No. At first, you can use a bag, a sack to grow your yam, but there must be soil inside that sack. There must be soil inside that sack. So we're saying that that type of the major treasure, the picture I'm trying to paint is that you have some gadgets in your house, and you want to protect them because they are useful to you. The first thing you must know, what are the possible ways they can get lost? If one of the ways is through the door, you try to lock your door. If one of the ways is to people now put bars on their ceiling, marketplace they put. If one of the possible ways is the roof, you put. So the first thing is to ask, what are the possible ways I can lose this soil? My people guys know that a soil can be in place but be lost. You can have soil here. It's not when you scoop it and throw it away that it's lost. It's not. It's not erosion. Your soil can be in place and it is lost. At any time, too, that if I plant on the soil, I cannot get yield. That soil has lost its saltiness. It's no longer salt. It's not good enough. And that's why people that have oil spill areas, nobody has removed their soil. But they cannot cultivate. So that soil is said to be lost, even though it is in place. So I want us to know that only when they carry your soil and then throw away. The reason we gave you these documents, that I was not going to go into details looking at them, you will expect that you also read them. So the essence of this one is showing you the major as a resource, soil as a major resource. I won't go into the theology, the technicalities of how the soil is made and all that. What is it composed of? I've said that. And then how does it resolve? What are the components? Then how long? Our prof will tell you that today is a natural resource. See this baby. This baby. Male or female? This female can become governor tomorrow. He has everything it takes to be a governor, but he cannot become one like this one. It's a long journey. Because we cannot go to a factory and manufacture a president. Say, let's just mold him, the size we want, put everything. We'll bring him out of the window and say, this is a president. We have to undergo a process. So, in place of time, we say, so somebody said it is a natural, it can't be manufactured. It takes time. It takes time. So, because it takes time, we've got to be careful. I like to tell my students that there are students who just get money for the asking. Once I need money. Oh. How much? 50K. Before they drop the phone, an alert has come. And there are people that throughout the whole semester, they'll give them 20,000. They know home and abroad. If you like, make calls 200 times. But there's even nobody to call. So you know, is this 20,000 that I have? You need to find a way to divide that 20,000 to survive. So the one that comes easy, you just at the snap of the finger. So we're saying, when I know that the soil is useful, can be lost, and then renewal is not very fast, then I will tell myself, wise up. I say, they call it wise up last verse. And I say, wise up, wise up, I go wise up. So that is where we are going to. How do we, some of these questions we're going to be looking at them when we come to the discussion. I won't begin talking about the soil profile. The soil profile. Okay, in defining the soil, I only mentioned the components. But soil is not just this one you're seeing on top. They don't call the soil profile. Anybody here who has seen a grave? Who has seen a grave before? If you have seen a grave dog, let me see you. Let me see your hand. And if you have seen a grave dog before, then you have seen a soil profile.